big data manipulation company in order to overthrow governments, and then suddenly all the chickens came home to roost. Nobody could find any receipts for what was paid for. Nobody could figure out how things
That's
worked.
where
And everybody had a feeling that something really stunk. Couldn't figure it out, and yet it was standing there in their face the whole time. So there's a couple of different ways that we got where it is that we are. I mean, one, you have a lot of smaller organizations, smaller power groups, companies as well, who are bending things just a little. Oh, we'll compromise a little bit, we'll bend the rules a little bit, and try to achieve what it is that we hope to achieve that's good for us. And if you add all of that up, what you end up with is a big wall moving in a big way, from a lot of little buttons being pushed. But also there's this other thing that's going on here, is the gathering of data and the analysis of data has authoritarianism contained within its DNA. It is by its nature a tool for authoritarianism, and it has been used in that way.
How does big data look into our lives? James covered it for the pre-crisis press.
We're starting to see the
A potential recruit's competitor is nearby. You could sabotage them by hacking their work emails.
totted up by a central system to sort of score you as a person, a bit like a credit card, but predicated on all of your behaviour rather than just the money you're spending. And this can have profound impact. We're starting to see systems emerge which will punish you and stop you from doing things in society based on your behaviour. And this can be as trivial as if you...
Watch yourself.
Move along, move along. I've unlocked full access to the competitor's work emails. I bet our prospect will be happy to get their hands on that.
I need your shite.
Now that you've helped them, they might be willing to talk to us.
I'll take the wheel now.
They're watching us, but we're watching it. This is London Calling. You're listening to Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. With me, it's hard to believe that a food and medicine in an advanced country like ours.
You seem smart. Like someone who understands what's really going on here.
Hey, you're dead sick, aren't you? Great timing. I need a hand with something.
That's what we're here for. What's going on?
I don't know, something's not right. My friend's been missing for a week now. Left without saying goodbye or anything.
I'm really sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, it's just... Well, not to be a bitch or anything, but my friend is kind of an ass. It's very possible they were an ass with the wrong people.
Rest easy, man. We'll track your friend, promise. So someone's gone missing. Diamond a dozen that. Where do we start?
Well, we could knock on every door in the city and see if they've got any abducted people on the premises, but it'd probably be smarter just to snoop around their last known location.
Agreed. Give me those coordinates.
Was fresh food. I mean, we could live without the fresh food. I mean, everyone's quality of life got instantly worse, but we could live without it. The most damaging part was when the radioactive isotopes stopped. Now, radioactive isotopes, that's what we use in cancer screening, cancer treatment. Now, that stuff, it has a short half-life. Technetium used to save hundreds of thousands of lives just by screening for cancer, let alone testing for cancer. But that stuff has a half-life of 66 hours. As soon as those walls went up, there was just no time to bring it into the country, and that is when people started dying. And then the medicines. The thing is, there's loads of medicines that you just can't stockpile. There was a moment before it took place when
Auto
actually
drive
there was
now
an effort to try
enabled.
and stockpile some of the medicines. There was some things that could be done. For a lot of it, there was simply nothing that could be done. We had a major problem with drugs for schizophrenia. So we saw such an uptick in the kind of attacks that you saw in the street and people suffering on their own because they didn't have the mental health drugs, because those drugs simply couldn't be stockpiled. We eventually found the same thing with foods that weren't produced in the UK. And the trouble with the UK was we don't produce our own food. We never have. For hundreds of years, we produced under half of our own food. So as soon as those wars went up, we started having significant material problems in the country. I mean, Britain always told itself it had this national myth, right, that it, because it got through the war, that it could go through any kind of hardship. I mean, that wasn't really the case. People during the war were far more frightened than some of this historical stuff brings out. Now, what did we see? People don't want to go through that stuff. They were desperate for the things that they had before, and they were scared. So they went to the black market. The same thing that always happens. And where did the growth of Clan Kelly come from? It came from people wanting the things that they could previously get legitimately and could now only get through the black market, funneling funds towards criminality. And from there, we got to the situation we have now of this basically war between criminals and security that seems to dominate what's going on out
Auto
there.
drive now disabled.
Nothing shakes people's faith in capitalism quite as much when capitalism fails to deliver. Here's underground writer and analyst Alfie on politics and property.
I think what we've come to now is a realization that capitalism has essentially failed. I mean, the key promise of capitalism is that it makes you its citizens is that there will be surplus, that we will have plenty, and that's the whole logic for running society in this way, that people will have enough. And now, these kind of huge shortages of everything, you're seeing that system collapse. It hasn't delivered on its primary promise. And I think we've really reached the situation where we have to do away with capitalism entirely. We're seeing a situation where there's shortages for the many, but for a few individuals, there's an elite who are not short of anything. So this is kind of fundamental inequality of a capitalist system, which is no longer producing. Shortages are being used as well. I'm not saying that there isn't a real shortage. There possibly is real shortages, but shortages are being used as an excuse for those in power, those elites, to keep what they want and not give to the rest of us what we need. So the excuse that there's simply not enough to go around is the justification for maintaining a kind of power of the 1% and leaving the rest of us short.
So if you're starving hungry too, if your parents can't get their medicine and your brothers and sisters have to steal to eat, remember,
Our missing person disappeared from here. It was probably captured on CCTV, like every other bloody thing in this city.
All right, I'll get that data.
Please, no.
Citizens of London are prohibited from using personal phones in the city. Neutralizing hostile.
All units, possible suspect or suspects, reporting near your location.
Received. Let's keep this by the book. Over.
I'm coming for you! I'd rather not
Officer
have to kill you
in
today.
critical condition. Critical. Over.
Reloading.
This is not just any old poll, we should say that. This is not any poll. This is an official poll, right in the very heart of government. It's not a knock-off fake poll of an elderly couple and their mangy old dog sitting on a bench waiting tonight.
Control, I can't see the suspect. Please advise.
Rick, you're it. Come on.
All right, let's get to it.
Published an official poll saying that over 99.9% of children like ice cream, and I would instantly assume that all children now hate all ice cream and would prefer to eat a bucket of gravel mixed with dead badger. They published an official poll saying that 10 out of 10 cats prefer actually being whacked with a chemical. All cats have gone vegan and they're queuing up outside the end of
I trust those polls as much as I trust someone recommending a movie that they watch. Look at it crazy people out there.
Located the CTOS hub.
Let's hear it.
That drone was assigned to an Albion detention centre somewhere in the borough. According to what I could pass, it was used to interrogate high-value local insurgents. This is one less weapon in their arsenal.
I am uploading the footage now.
Well, they were taken all right. Got in a shouting match with Albion and then took a couple of boots to the solar plexus.
Damn.
Yes, that's the bad news. The good news is I determined where they're being held. Sending you the coordinates.
There's a real shift in the way that the world works. And let's recap.
The basics. So, central to cryptocurrency is the distributed ledger technology, the tech that keeps track of all transactions. And what this means is you can have a decentralized system without having to trust any one party, like old-fashioned banks.
One of the reasons why I got involved so early was that you could stay anonymous.
Yeah, the features of cryptocurrency very much fit into that early mindset. It was all about finding an alternative to centralized systems. It was kind of a countercultural punk ethos. The whole point of the distributed ledger is you're not trusting any one person to keep a track of who has what money or how they're spending it. It's all out there in the open for anyone to see, and yet you can remain secretive.
But not everybody now wants to keep up this crypto legacy. They don't share this attitude anymore. We've seen institutions, businesses, even governments experimenting with crypto, which doesn't really fit into its original radical counterculture mold.
Yeah, it's kind of weird today to think of people not using cryptocurrency. It's so mainstream now. You know, I'm almost nostalgic for the feel of cash. Good old-fashioned paper and coins. First they changed the paper notes to plastic notes, and now it's just all...
I am here.
The abductee you're looking for should be somewhere nearby.
Auto drive now enabled. Auto drive now disabled.
Deploying Spider.
The hostage is in here. Let's get him out.
Help! Don't need to torture me.
Investigation underway.
Cryptocurrency in a last-ditch effort to save the pound.
But it's not like that's worked. People are still...
No.
Investigating disturbance. Continuing unlawful activity will result in arrest. Hostile target. Employing combat measures.
You're going down. Get down!
Right, time to get him out.
Drone, begin a search.
Look for anything suspicious.
We found your friend in an Albion cell. They're free now, so you should be hearing from them soon.
Really? Oh, jeez. I owe you big time.
People like us with particular skills. We have a responsibility. You should join that sec.
Sounds like a blast. I'm in.
Let's head back and regroup.
More badass folks like you should join us. If you know anyone.
Yeah, this is gonna be real. Let's do it.
Excellent.
Please, don't hurt me. I have nothing. Right? Yes. What a nice...